Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Learning English USA of English Confidence with Jessica. I'm so happy you're here today, because we're going to talk about something that is absolutely essential for your English learning success: concentration. Yes, that magical ability to focus your mind, stay in the moment, and really absorb the English you hear, read, and speak. If you've ever felt like your attention just drifts away while you're trying to study, or your mind starts thinking about lunch halfway through an English video, or you're reading an article and suddenly realize you have no idea what the last paragraph said, well, my friend, this episode is for you. Today's topic is 5 steps to improve your concentration in English in just 7 days. And I'm not kidding when I say you can notice a huge improvement in just 1 week if you follow these steps seriously. I've designed them so they're practical, simple to follow, and they fit into your daily life. Even if you have a busy job, school, or family responsibilities, before we dive in, let me just share why concentration is so powerful when it comes to learning English. Imagine your brain as a camera. When you focus the lens, the picture is sharp and clear. But if the lens is unfocused, the picture becomes blurry. In English learning, your brain's lens is your attention. If your attention is sharp, you can remember new vocabulary faster, you can understand grammar better, and you can improve your speaking fluency without as much hesitation. But if your attention is blurry, well, even if you spend hours studying, you might not retain much at all. So in this episode, I'm going to walk you through the 5 steps, but I'm also going to give you a clear 7-day plan at the end. That way, you're not just listening, you'll know exactly what to do tomorrow morning to start improving your focus. Alright, ready? Let's begin. Step 1. Clear your mental clutter. One of the biggest enemies of concentration is mental clutter, all those little thoughts, worries, and reminders floating around in your mind. Think about it, you sit down to study English, and suddenly your brain says, "Did I reply to that email? Oh, I forgot to buy milk. I wonder what's happening on Instagram." Sound familiar? That's mental clutter pulling your attention away from the task in front of you. So how do we clear it? I like to start with something I call a brain dump. Before you begin your English practice, take a notebook or a piece of paper and write down everything that's on your mind. Don't organize it. Don't try to solve problems. Just write it all down. It could be send project update to manager, call mom, pay electricity bill, book dentist appointment, my chair is squeaky, anything. Get it out of your head and onto paper. Why does this work? Because your brain is like your computer, it has limited working memory. When you try to hold too many things in it, it slows down. By writing them down, you're telling your brain, don't worry, I've saved this somewhere. You can let go for now. That frees up mental space for focusing on English. After your brain dump, take 2 or 3 deep breaths. Sit up straight, relax your shoulders, and say to yourself, for the next 20 minutes, my only focus is English. Yes, say it out loud if you can. This is called a focus intention, and it's like pressing the start button on your concentration mode. Now, before we move on to step 2, let me give you a quick tip to supercharge step 1, use a pre-study ritual. It could be making a cup of tea, playing the same instrumental track, or even lighting a candle. Why? Because rituals signal to your brain it's focus time. Over a few days, your brain starts to automatically switch into concentration mode when you do that ritual. I use this myself. Before recording a podcast episode, I make a cup of herbal tea and open my podcast notes. That small action tells my mind, Jessica, it's time to focus on your audience. It works like magic. Welcome back, my friend. Now that we've cleared your mental clutter in step 1, it's time to talk about step 2. Create a daily English routine that fits your life. Why is this so important for concentration? Well, think about brushing your teeth. You don't have to decide if you'll brush your teeth today or when you'll do it, it's just part of your daily life. The more automatic something is, the less mental energy it takes. And the less energy you spend on deciding, the more energy you have for focusing. When English practice becomes part of your natural daily rhythm, you don't waste brainpower thinking, should I study now or later, or maybe I'll skip today. Instead, you show up without that mental debate. And that consistency trains your brain to focus faster because it recognizes, it's English time now. How to build your daily English routine: choose a fixed time. I recommend picking the same time each day for your main English session. It could be 7 a.m. with your coffee, during your lunch break, or 9 p.m. after dinner. The exact time doesn't matter as much as the consistency. Set a realistic duration. If you're busy, even 15 to 20 minutes of deep, focused English time is enough, as long as you actually focus. Remember, concentrated study beats long, distracted study every time. Pick one main focus area per day. This is key. Don't overwhelm yourself with too many different activities. For example, Monday, listening, podcast or YouTube; Tuesday, speaking practice; Wednesday, reading and vocabulary; Thursday, grammar review; Friday, writing short responses or diary entries; Saturday, English conversation with a friend; Sunday, fun English, watch a movie, play a game, attach it to a habit you already have. This is called habit stacking. If you already drink tea at 4 p.m., do your English right after. If you take a morning walk, listen to an English podcast while walking. By linking English to something you already do, you make it easier to remember and harder to skip. Here's the magic part. Once you've done this routine for even just 3 to 4 days, your brain starts to recognize the pattern. By day 7, when that time of day arrives, you'll notice you naturally slip into focus mode. That's the power of routine. It trains your concentration like a muscle. Now, let's move on to something that can make or break your focus. Step 3. Train your attention with short bursts. Here's a secret: your brain's attention span is like a balloon. If you try to blow it up too quickly or too much at once, it pops. But if you blow it up gradually, it expands over time. Most learners try to study for a long time right away, 1 hour, 2 hours, and they lose focus halfway through. That's like trying to run a marathon without training. Instead, I recommend using short bursts of highly focused study to train your attention. One of my favorite tools for this is the Pomodoro technique. The classic version is focus deeply for 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break, but when you're starting out, you can make it even shorter, 15 minutes of total focus, then a short break. During those 15 minutes, remove all distractions. Put your phone in another room or use airplane mode. Close extra browser tabs. Tell your family, I'm focusing for the next 15 minutes. Here's the magic: when you know it's only 15 minutes, it's easier to tell your brain, stay here. Just for this little bit. Over time, you'll find you can stretch that focus to 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or more, without forcing it. Jessica's tip: during your short bursts, use what I call the single task rule. That means you only do one type of English activity during that time, either listening or reading or speaking. Not a mix. Switching between tasks forces your brain to keep changing focus, and that's concentration's worst enemy. And here's a fun bonus: you can gamify your bursts. Keep a little chart, and every time you complete a focus burst, give yourself a checkmark or a star. At the end of the week, see how many you collected. This tiny reward system keeps your motivation alive and helps your brain see focusing as something enjoyable. Welcome back, my friend. So far, we've cleared the mental clutter, built a routine, and trained your attention with short bursts. Now it's time for step 4, the one most learners ignore: fuel your brain for focus. You see, concentration is not just about willpower. It's also about biology. Your brain is like the engine of a car. If it doesn't have the right fuel, it can't perform at high speed. You might want to focus, but your brain simply doesn't have the resources. Step 4. Fuel your brain for focus. Let's start with something you might not think about: hydration. Your brain is made of about 75% water. Even slight dehydration, I'm talking just 1 to 2%, can make you feel foggy, slow, and distracted. So, before your English practice, drink a glass of water. Keep a bottle nearby during your session. You'd be surprised how much clearer your thinking gets. Then there's nutrition. Foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids, like fish or walnuts, support brain health. Dark leafy greens, berries, and even a little dark chocolate can boost focus. But heavy, greasy meals? They'll slow you down because your body is busy digesting instead of thinking. Jessica's tip: if you're practicing English in the morning, have a light but nourishing breakfast, maybe some yogurt with fruit, or eggs with vegetables. If you're practicing in the evening, avoid heavy dinners right before your session, and let's not forget sleep. You can't expect your brain to focus if it's running on empty. Sleep is when your brain processes information, repairs connections, and clears out mental waste. If you're constantly tired, your concentration will suffer no matter how hard you try. Aim for a consistent sleep schedule, yes, even on weekends. Finally, there's movement. A 5-minute walk before you start studying can boost oxygen to your brain, improving alertness. Even stretching helps. So instead of scrolling on your phone before practice, stand up, move your body, and prepare your brain for deep work. Now, with your brain fully fueled, let's step into the final, and perhaps the most powerful, part of our 7-day plan. Step 5. Create a distraction-proof zone. You can have the best intentions, the best routine, and even the best snacks, but if you're surrounded by distractions, your concentration will still slip away. So in Step 5, we're going to build what I call your focus sanctuary. This is a physical or digital space where your brain knows it's time to concentrate. It can be a small desk in the corner of your room, a particular chair by the window, or even a coffee shop table you visit at the same time each week. The key is, when you're in that spot, you're in English mode, no exceptions. How to make your focus sanctuary work: remove visual distractions. Keep only the materials you need: notebook, pen, laptop, maybe a dictionary. Clear away clutter. A messy space equals a messy mind. Control digital distractions. Use Do Not Disturb mode on your phone. Log out of distracting apps. Install a website blocker if you keep wandering to social media. Remember, every time you switch to check a message, your brain takes several minutes to refocus. Signal your brain with rituals. This is a fun one. Before each English session, do something that tells your brain it's focus time. It could be lighting a candle, putting on a certain playlist, or making a cup of tea. Over time, your brain associates that ritual with deep focus. Use headphones. Even without music, wearing headphones can block out background noise and signal to people around you that you're busy. If you do listen to something, choose instrumental music so lyrics don't compete with the English you're learning. When your focus sanctuary is ready, it's like stepping into a mental bubble. Even if the world around you is noisy, you'll find it easier to lock in. And the best part? You don't have to force yourself. Your brain will start switching into concentration mode automatically because the environment cues it. The 7-day action plan recap. Day 1 to 2, clear mental clutter. Day 3, build your daily routine. Day 4, start short focus bursts. Day 5, fuel your brain for focus. Day 6 to 7, create your distraction-proof zone. By the end of these 7 days, you'll notice a difference. Your mind won't wander as easily, English words will come to you faster, and you'll enjoy your study time more because you're fully present. In the final part of our podcast, I'll share bonus tips, motivation strategies, and real-life examples from learners who've mastered concentration in English, so you can keep improving long after these 7 days.